I don't have an intro for this video other than it's my 30th birthday, and what better way to celebrate it than to add value. As always, as opposed to asking you to buy me cake, but red velvet ice cream cake. I promise I will love you forever until Jesus comes. Okay, but let's get into it. So I started out as a freelancer back in, I don't know why this bird chooses to come and perch in my window when I'm recording. If they did not send you, did they send you? So this video is going to be more conversational, so you would see me occasionally looking at my notes, okay? So don't be alarmed. So I started out as a freelancer back in 2016, and every year ever since then, I have had growth in my finances, better than the previous year. There's a testimony we give in our church. We've never had it better last year. But then there was a problem. At the end of the year, I would see that I did better in sales over the previous year, but it was not reflecting in cash at hand. It was not reflecting in my account. Don't get me wrong, it's not that I squandered the money or anything. In fact, I can confidently tell you that 60% of income now, not sales, actual income that I've earned over the past 7 years has gone back into the business in the form of self-development, education, gear acquisition, and marketing. So I found myself at a point where my enemies at work came again, second time. If you paid by this, sorry about that. So I found myself at a point where I was on a steady course of growing my income annually, but then I now needed to learn how to manage and grow that money. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that I've learned and some of the things that have worked for me, and hopefully one of them might just be what might change your own financial story, okay? Put money into your savings and investments first. This was something I learned way back when I read that small book called Richest Man in Babylon. For many of us, when we receive our income or salary, we spend the money on bills and food and whatnot. Of course, we have expenses, but then it's now whatever is left, that's what we now try to scrape into our savings. And if you keep operating like that, you're going to be living from paycheck to paycheck. Now, what we should do and what I did was to predetermine a percentage of our income or our salary that will go into this savings and investment. For example, this could be 20%. So we make sure that after tithe, 20% goes into savings and investments first, and then the remaining 70% is now what is available for you to spend. This single thing alone, as simple as it sounds, revolutionized how I manage my money. At the end of the year, there has been something always left in the account moving into the next year. So number 2 is invest now or invest early. Chances are high that if you're watching this video, a good number of you, not all of you, but a good number of you have zero okono, no investments whatsoever in your life. Don't feel bad, you're not alone. I mean, we're not taught to do this in school, and we're not taught to do it at home either. Maybe some of you were, but a lot of us weren't. And I mean, for some of us, even if we had learned to invest early, our income level years ago was not enough for us to have a substantial amount to invest. So it all works together for your good at the end of the day. And even in terms of knowledge, the 1 or 2 investments that I have today, years ago I didn't have the knowledge or the know-how to even invest in them. I mean, if I had tried it years ago, I would have lost all my money, and I did lose all my money twice in some investments that I did. Number 3, live below your means. My uncle once told me that the day people begin to see you and they say, maybe let's say this guy get 1 million for account, that is when you should actually have like somewhere between 15 to 30 million in your account. Just because you're making more money doesn't mean that you should be spending more money. It's not about how much money you make, it's about how much of it you keep. I may be making 500k a month and you may be making 200k a month, but if my own expenses is about 470k a month and your own expenses is 100k a month, guess who is doing better financially? You are. If you like this content, please take a moment to subscribe and drop a comment. Thank you. Now, of course, I'm not saying start looking unkept and looking slightly homeless or cheapening out on your nutrition and your welfare. Not at all. I'm simply saying do what you need to do, but do it within your means. They increase your salary at your workplace, and all of a sudden, those 10,000 naira shirt that you've been wearing since, all of a sudden, it's not befitting for you anymore. You know, you've now upgraded to like 45k per shirt. Or that car that has been serving you faithfully for 5 years, suddenly it's not up to your status anymore. See, have sense. A good way to think about it is this: don't live a life that if something were to happen to the source of your income, you will slip into poverty within a month. Every good and perfect gift is from above. Receive sense in Jesus' name. Number 4, work towards increasing your income. Now, let's say you decide to save 20% of your income or your salary every month, and you're earning 100k. 20% of 100k is what? 20k. But now let us assume that you are now earning 500k. 20% of 500k is what? 100k. Look at the difference. 20k, 100k. Imagine saving 20k for a year. That's going to give you what? 240,000 if I'm not mistaken. And then imagine saving 100k for a year. That's going to give you what? 1.2 million, I think. Of course, how you would go about doing this is dependent on your career and your work, but regardless of where you are, I think a good place to start would be look for those in your field, in your career, who are the top earners, the people who are earning what other people combined is not even anywhere close to it. Look for those people, look for the skill that they have that you don't have, especially the skill that is enabling them to be able to charge or build that amount, and you work towards gaining those skills for yourself, and in no time you too will be earning something close or even more than what they are earning as well.
If you work hard on your job, you can make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you could make a fortune.
Number 5, invest in your financial knowledge. Hopefully this video is going to be your first step in this direction. You know, learn about money and how to manage it. They did not teach us in school. They did not teach us at home. You have to learn this thing by yourself, and it's for your own good. I mean, look at some athletes. These are people who are highly paid. They earn huge amounts of money, and a lot of them don't know how to manage it, and they maintain this high spending lifestyle. And so it's very easy to find a multi-millionaire athlete who retires and within 2 years they're broke. These are people that had millions of dollars flying around, and within 2 years they're broke. I mean, even in my own industry, I mean, you find actors who were doing very well for themselves financially at the peak of their careers, but some of them probably did not manage their money well. They assumed that, oh, they will be young forever and these roles will keep coming, but after a while the roles stopped coming, and because they didn't manage the money well, you find years later that these people are broke and they're not doing well financially. And also, you know, I don't know about you, but if Jesus tarries, the things that I want to do to facilitate the word and the spread of the gospel, it requires a huge amount of money, you know. So I need to learn to manage and multiply it, because God doesn't like waste, you know. Whatever you don't manage, you will lose. And if you understand kingdom wealth, you would know that if God knows that you are not going to manage that money well, he will not give it to you. He won't channel it through you. And last but not least, pepper them gang. You know yourselves, spending the little money that you have on things in order to impress people. You'll be going to the same places that your destiny helper is going, spending the same amount of money, having the same expenses with them, when you know you've not reached that level. My simple prayer for you is this: may your future self not weep over this foolishness that you're exhibiting right now. Thank you again for the birthday wishes and prayers, especially the prayers. Please, I need your prayers. That's the best thing that you can do for me. And if you don't know what to pray, for me, use this one. It's very short and simple. But of course, if you have birthday offering for me, I will accept it wholeheartedly. Check out the other videos on my channel. Subscribe if you feel like, but I think you should. It's a wealth of knowledge here. And I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.